Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on whenever you're watching. Thank you for tuning in to episode 119 of the Restricted Zone podcast. Going to be getting into a little bit of WWE wrestling talks tonight. But before we get into that, got to make sure, let y'all know, check out episode 118. We just dropped that today, July 10th. That's the day we're recording this episode. We just dropped episode 118. The guys discussing the winners, losers, and some of the underrated signings of NBA free agency. Christopher, I know I called you by your full name. My fault, Chris. I know, I know your feelings on free agency. You say it's pretty boring, but it was pretty lackluster. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But hey, the guys, our podcast, not boring. Break it down for you with a special guest, Jared Hughes from the Straight to the Point podcast. Make sure to check him and his podcast out. But that was today's episode, yesterday's episode. This is today's episode 119. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk some Bloodline, that match coming up at Summerslam. We're talking about, you know, our best match so far, 2023 in WWE. We're halfway through the year. Maybe we can branch out into AEW if you guys want to do that too. Up to you. Also, didn't get a chance to talk about this. New championship designs in WWE. We have a new undisputed women's championship, of course, a new men's undisputed championship for Roman Reigns, and of course, the women have a new women's world champion. We've been talking about this in past episodes. Finally, getting rid of the Raw and SmackDown, you know, brandings for the championships and just give us a women's world champion and a women's universal champion. We have that. And we're going to talk about the new title designs that came with it, and maybe if we have enough time, segue into a top five list, our favorite championship designs of all time. But all that out of the way, guys, what is your best match so far? We are halfway through the year, just about a little over halfway through this 2023 year. Got a lot of candidates. You got Roman versus Cody WrestleMania. You got Charlotte, Rhea WrestleMania. You got the whole Bloodline Civil War tag team match. You got Roman and Sammy at Elimination Chamber. Got a lot of choices. So, Chris, I'm gonna start with you. Best match so far in the WWE. Also, if you want to give us your favorite AEW match, you're more than welcome to do that.
Well, I mean, I'll start with AEW just to get out the way. We all know this. If you watch Forbidden Door, we all know that the true match of the night, the match of the year, the best match that I've seen, honestly, in my entire life, was Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Not much else needs to be said about that. If you missed it, I feel sorry for you. If you watched it,
I made sure to go back and watch it too. I made sure.
Good. So you know it was an instant classic. That's all I gotta say. It doesn't even need much words. Just you just know it was just all that and more. So I'm gonna get out the way. When it comes to WWE, personally, I'm gonna go based off of just the wrestling style itself, and because of that, I'm gonna go with the Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair match at WrestleMania on night 2. Oh no, I'm sorry, night 1. I apologize. On night 1. Yes, and I think what made it special for me is the fact that Rhea Ripley. This isn't her first time in a championship match at WrestleMania. Her first match in the pandemic WrestleMania was also against Charlotte Flair, but this time instead of it being for the Raw Women's title, it was for the NXT title. And I really wasn't a big fan of the match, but you could tell that this wasn't the last we've seen of Rhea Ripley. We know she still technically wasn't on the main roster yet. She's still an NXT superstar, but her time was coming. Maybe transition to she comes back at the WrestleMania after that, fights Asuka, ends up winning the Raw Women's title. Again, in another decent match, not really a great match, but not a bad match either. But then, fast forward 2 years, she's a part of the Judgment Day. Now she's in her own element. Charlotte Flair, even though I don't like her as a babyface, perfect opponent for her to fight again. Because once again, This goes back to that rivalry that they've had over the years. And Mommy had to get a lick back, and Mommy got a lick back. Just to say it as easily as that. It was just I enjoyed
You just said
just
mommy, bro.
yeah. You don't call Rhea Ripley Mommy?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not a fan of that shit. I'm not
See,
gonna hold you.
I didn't want to say nothing.
I ain't not gonna hold you. I don't get it.
Bro,
I don't
this Rhea Ripley has
I
never
didn't
been
want
more
to say
popular
nothing,
than
man.
she is
But
right now.
really like a culture vulture. I'm be real.
She has never been more popular than she is right now. Stop it. Anyway, before also really interrupted by the
you get the
slanderers.
T-shirt, Chris. You got the mommy
Oh,
T-shirt.
oh no, I ain't got that drawn. I'm not buying that. That I'm not buying. But I might have to cop up that new Dirty Down shirt though. I ain't gonna hold you. That's another story for another day. But anyway, I enjoyed just the back and forth match, the big spots, and it really was a WrestleMania match on what we all know was the best day of WrestleMania. Again, when you think of match of the year, you don't need to speak too much on it because if you watch the match, you know what happened. But it was just so great seeing Rhea Ripley get her moment, her actual moment, because I feel like this was her moment more so than it was when she beat Asuka. And I think what topped it all up, what really made it great too, was at the end when Charlotte Flair went out the ring. Even though she lost, you could see the smile on her face, you could see her chuckling. You knew she was happy for Rhea for working her ass off to get that moment. It was great to see. So personally for me, I think Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania 38 match of the year so far. Now, hopefully something tops that, but it's going to be difficult to. But I want to hear what y'all have to say about it.
Well, I'll first of all, excuse me, for my manners. Let me formally introduce everybody that's on the episode tonight. You guys heard from me, you heard from Chris, Greg, Seam. Introduce yourselves.
Listen, man, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? Coming to you live from the 215. You know what I mean? Mr. Bread and Butter
Enough.
himself. You know what I mean? Mr. Bread and Butter himself. I mean, I've been through it all. Y'all seen me go through it all, man. I'm living to fight another day. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be with y'all this evening. We're gonna get right into it afterwards. Sean, go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up, y'all? Seeing the girl, family. Finally on the WWE podcast. Been a minute since I was even on a pod, to be honest, but it's been some decent wrestling this year, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, man, not a two-man power trip as we've kind of been accustomed to. We got the whole stable, the whole faction here. Um, everybody's being camera shy tonight except me. So they all got their reasons. Just think about it. But yeah. So Greg or Seam, whoever wants to take over, it's gonna be your favorite match so far, 2023.
Seem you got a preference?
I'll go. I think obviously the best match was Kenny versus Will. I mean, Chris already talked about that, man. I like one of the best matches I've ever seen. Like it gave me like Shawn Michaels Undertaker vibe. Like that match was, yeah, it was everything for it. But if we're gonna talk about some other matches, I really like Roman versus Cody. I thought that match was amazing. The finish, I know, I just thought the whole thing was formulated well. I thought the triple threat match, the IC triple threat match, was really good too. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre on night one. I thought that was a hard hand match. I'm excited for Drew versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Very excited for that match. I thought Logan versus Seth Rollins was really good. WrestleMania as a whole, like most of WrestleMania didn't have a lot of misses. Like WrestleMania for the past like 3 years really has been on fire. Like they've been doing really good at WrestleMania and pay-per-views in general. That's something I'll give WWE. Their pay-per-views been fire. Another match that was really good that I wasn't even expecting to be as good as it was Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. I think the crowd made that match, but yeah, that match was I was entertained the whole way through. But my favorite WWE match this year gotta be Sammy and KO versus the Usos, main event of night one, WrestleMania. I mean, just a whole year of storyline, a whole year of build. Bloodline been carrying WWE for 3 years now. They don't miss. they will never miss. And that match was just like a culmination of everything Sammy been through with them. He should have beat Roman, to be honest, but he got the little tag title. It's cool. Seeing Sammy and KO finally get the tag titles, finally being side by side. Seeing the Usos in that main event spot with all that they've done over the past 2 years, like nobody deserved it more than the Usos did because they really were like the bloodline in general. I feel like WWE for a minute, all the titles were like whatever. It's like who cares about these titles? The Usos elevated those tag titles to be like, oh, these titles matter again. Obviously, Roman elevated this title to where it's like whoever beats Roman has to be the guy now, and that's how it should be. But yeah, my favorite match in WWE this year was definitely that tag match, WrestleMania Night 1.
All right, Greg, how do you feel about it? Any non-WrestleMania matches that may have gotten your top spot?
Nah. I feel like Seam and Chris kind of touched on like literally all the great matches of the year so far. So I'll double down on the fact that I think I'm gonna double down on the fact that I think like if I had to pick a number one spot, it was Cody versus Roman. Now I just haven't remembered a level of hype for a match and genuinely not knowing who was going to win as much as I felt for that match. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I knew Will Ospreay was probably gonna find a way to beat Kenny. You know what I mean? Like, I was pretty confident that like KO and Sammy was probably gonna beat, you know what I mean, the Usos. I legitimately watching that entire match with Roman and Cody was like, yo, like Roman needs to win, but Cody needs to win. And it's like, who they gonna choose? Are they gonna choose 1,000 days, or they gonna take the brother that has the most hype I've seen in the past? Like, bro, the brother tore his bicep and fought at Hell in a. I was gonna say that's probably. I don't know if that was 2023, but he tore his pec and still wrestled. At Hell in a, bro, come on, bro. Bro, whole titty, you know what I mean? Just red. And you know white boy, bro. Just red, just titty red, white.
Like the blood got all the way down to his arm. Like
I just hadn't seen a level of hype for Cody to win and also be conflicted because it's like, dang, like Roman's so close to 1,000 days and WrestleMania is just before 1,000 days happens. What are we gonna go with? And then the storyline and the build itself, bro, they kept on talking about Cody Rhodes' dad every chance they got. They said Cody was Dusty's favorite son, but Roman was the son Dusty never had. Come on, bro. You watching that from the crib, you like, yo, Cody. I'm like, Cody, if you don't win, bro. Like, bro, his family never won the championship. His dad never won the championship. You feel me? Then the day before the day before night one of WrestleMania, Cody looked. I think either the day or the week before, Cody looked Solo in his eyes and said, "Yo, bro, you're not ready for this. You're not ready for this moment. Don't worry about it. This ain't even really for you right now." And Solo's the one that Samoa spikes him and causes him to lose the match. Oh, cinematic masterpiece. And from start to finish. You feeling, you like, yeah, Roman got to 1,000 days, but you also feeling for Cody like, damn, bro, you needed that one.
Basically, WWE they chose between 1,000 days finishing the story, and they chose to go for 1,000 days.
Exactly.
I feel like Cody winning was still like in my heart, Cody should have won. In my mind, it's like, all right, well,
They made the right decision that night.
I will say this. The storyline. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. The story's not finished. That's all I say, bro. I feel like the way that they're building it now, Cody lost that WrestleMania. What he told Roman is like eventually Jay's gonna leave you, Jimmy's gonna leave you, Solo's gonna leave you, and this time next year, WrestleMania next year in Philly,
you're not gonna have that support system.
Nah, need that. Yo, we out. We're doing a live pod at the John, bro.
They're gonna run the match back, but this
Roman's
only gonna have Paul.
And guess what? Cody's gonna face Roman, and this time Roman beat him because of his family, but this time Roman's not gonna have that family.
Bro,
Cody,
listen.
I think that's a way for Roman I think that's a way for WWE to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Roman, beat this record, but Cody is
I'll say
still
this.
going to get his due.
Listen.
I'll say
Go
this.
ahead. Go ahead.
I like that idea of it building up to that because I didn't think about it like that until Steven and Greg pointed it out. But if it does come down to WrestleMania next year, Jay has to be the one that calls Roman the title. Yes.
No.
What I think.
Wait, why y'all disagreeing with it?
I feel like Roman is like he elevated that title so high that whoever beats Roman has to be your face of the company.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Cody's that guy, bro.
And Jay, as much as I love Jay,
Are you saying that Jay takes the belt, or he's the reason why Roman loses to Cody?
And Jay, I think Cody gonna beat Roman. I think
Yeah.
Jay got his story. I think Jay's story was him pinning Roman. That was his like over moment. He pinned Roman.
Yeah.
And then Roman's gonna beat him.
He
at
can say that
SummerSlam.
he was the first one to pin him. He gets that accolade, but he doesn't get the championship.
They're not gonna give him the belt.
I think it's gonna be piece by piece. He took care of JR. He took care of Jimmy already. He gonna take care of Jay at SummerSlam. And it's Solo gonna turn on him. Exactly, because Solo gonna be Royal Rumble. Solo's Royal Rumble. Exactly.
That has to be a Royal Rumble championship.
Exactly. And then Cody wins at Royal Rumble, and now we set up the storyline for Roman at WrestleMania.
Wait, so
Come on, bro.
Cody with back-to-back
with the
Royal
World
Rumbles?
Heavyweight Championship,
Huh?
with the World Heavyweight Championship,
So
Cody doesn't have to
No.
win the Royal Rumble anymore.
It could be. Yeah,
They could win it in the chamber.
They could do a multi different story. They could do something similar to when they did Rock versus Big Show when it was the final two, and then Rock and Big Show fell at the same time. Then they faced at the I forget.
Wins the Rumble. Again,
Nah, bro.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to win it back to back.
He don't.
You can give that rep to somebody else like LA Knight or anybody, bro.
The winner of the Royal Rumble is definitely facing Seth Rollins for sure.
Yeah, it'll be it can't be LA Knight because it'll have to be like a Raw guy.
I guess WWE don't care about the brand split anyway, but I'm just saying it's like.
I mean, yeah.
Like just me thinking like I know they don't care about it, so they'll find a way. But just me thinking Cody's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown. Cody gotta win the Rumble, but they don't care about the brand split anyway. So they just have Cody probably just show up on SmackDown one day and be like, "Hey, Roman, I challenge you," because they don't care about the brand split.
Something that I hadn't thought about and that I seen somebody like posted about and I thought was really smart was they said they pump faked you to think that Cody was going to be the guy immediately upon return, but now Cody's going through all these different struggles. It's like he got all these different side missions, almost like his dad when his dad had that storyline when he was like a working man, trying to make it the hard times. You feel me? So he gonna go through his hard time now. You feel me?
A similarity I see is
I feel like
with the John Cena and the Rock stuff, like how John Cena lost to the Rock.
I was just thinking that.
The year of struggling, he triumphed and then eventually beat the Rock. I thought they're kind of hanging like that too with Cody. Like Cody lost, he built himself up. He got to Roman, and everyone like, "Oh, this is the moment Cody's gonna beat him," and he loses. He loses the biggest match of his life. And he goes through. Now he got to get beat up by Brock. He got his arm broke, passing out to Kimura locks and all that.
He still won that match.
We're gonna slide past that.
He didn't win that match. He lost.
The Extreme Rules. He won.
They split it. I didn't know they split it.
Yeah, they split it. The first match he won by roll up. The second match he fainted, and they said he passed out. This is the trilogy fight.
I think, and probably at Royal Rumble, I think he's gonna lose to Seth too. I think they're gonna have that match. I think he's gonna give Seth his win back. I don't know if he'll get screwed out of it somehow or whatever, but I think eventually they're gonna run that match.
The World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, I think Seth's gonna beat him.
You think Seth holds the belt that long?
Yeah, because the way
for some reason I feel like Seth loses the belt.
Bro, you got
Seth gonna lose that belt to Damian Priest for sure.
I don't think so. Not by. I think Damian's going.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because you got, especially with the way ever since.
And maybe Seth can win it back at Royal Rumble. Like Damian cashes in on him in the fall, and then Seth wins it back at the Rumble, and then.
I can see that.
I was looking ready to ask you that. When you think Damian Priest should cash in? Because right now I feel like with the storyline going on with this Finn Balor distraction, I feel like that's gonna be his next opponent. And honestly, I wouldn't be
Don't
surprised
rush
if they fought at some. I
Don't
wouldn't be surprised if they fought at SummerSlam.
Don't
Right,
rush
yeah.
the cash in.
Man,
They should give Finn Balor the belt. They
You
should
don't
give
gotta
Finn
hold
Balor.
it for a year, but let him hold it for like 2 or 3 months.
we talking about this Money in the Bank, bro. We gotta talk about how they didn't give it to LA Knight, bro. We gotta talk
Nah,
about
bro. Come on. Vince back at the company.
it. He got it, me, bro.
He is.
There's no way Vince didn't go like Hunter.
Yes, he like.
Yes, he did. Yes, he-
He did, bro.
You know what made it worse is that they teased us that LA Knight was about to win. That's what made it worse.
Here's the thing, bro. Priest needed it though. Priest needed it more than LA Knight. LA Knight got the fan base that
Yeah,
realistically, if he
Honestly,
sustains,
Priest
I
can
don't
just
dis-
Priest
Honestly,
doesn't need it because he's in a
he doesn't
faction
really
right
need
now. I
it
feel
either,
like
but this, I don't know if I could see Priest being your world champion, bro. Like, what is he
Rhea's
done
already the champion in the faction. Like I feel like if
nah, but
anything, Priest could have won the U.S. title.
nah, bro. I'm sorry. That faction is a laughing stock. They lose every series, bro. They lose
I bet
exactly.
like Damien's gonna go his own way. I think Finn is gonna go his own way. And Finn
That's
is
why
gonna
it's kind of
shine.
weird though. Like the Damien's all of a sudden getting the briefcase in.
Right. If anything, I feel like
It's not
maybe
like gender, but
you know what I would do? I would do just because I personally don't believe Priest is ready. They obviously gonna split the faction up. Priest versus Balor at SummerSlam for the briefcase, and just give that briefcase to Finn. Because Finn is more than ready to be world champion.
You know what I really want
they
to
could just had
happen.
him win the ladder match.
You want to know what I really want to happen? I want Edge to have one more ultimate opportunist match. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna say I'm praying on Priest having an injury, but something gonna happen to Priest, right? Where like in real life, where he's like, he can't be our world champion. So Edge is going to be the ultimate opportunist, and just like he did against Mr. Kennedy, get the briefcase again,
Say that having Mr. Kennedy, but
and then cash that in, on Seth.
didn't he
Yeah.
get hurt in the WWE?
look.
And he thought the injury was worse than it actually was. Like he had to give up the briefcase.
Yeah.
The injury ended up not being that bad. He only missed like a month.
They said he was supposed to be out for 6 weeks or 6 months. He ended up being out for like 4 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We don't want that to happen to Damien. We don't want that. Bro.
I gotta respond to some things real fast that I just heard. Hold on.
Go ahead.
So, Greg, did you just call the Judgment Day a laughing stock?
No, for sure, bro. No, not laughing stock in terms of heat. Laughing stock in terms of they never win anything. Who have they beaten? Every single series, single, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro.
They are popular. They're stable. They don't.
The most legitimate.
They just 3MB with more heat.
I wouldn't say that. Listen, the only one that wins anything is real, bro. So the most, I feel like the most
Exactly.
the most legitimate they were is when Finn had beat Edge, and they had the most heat ever around that time, and then WWE didn't capitalize on it. They just let them whatever going all the time. They just been losing ever since. They stuff for real.
Real quick. I still feel like Finn Balor should win at WrestleMania. I still don't like. Edge didn't need to win that match. Edge.
I don't think
that's just me.
Yeah. I think so too.
Like, he didn't need to win that match. Finn Balor should win. And he was a demon. Like, why is the demon losing Hell in the Cell match?
I think Finn is a guy. I think they're angling this towards it now. I feel like Finn. It's tough because Vince. But I feel like if they let Triple H have his way, and Finn finally goes on his own, they keep him as a heel. Finn is a guy who can turn around real quick because he's that good. Like he's so good. Like Finn can turn around, and then nobody will even ban out. Like he could win the world title right now, and nobody would be like, "Oh my God, Finn won!" Like Finn's one of those guys. So I feel like he's never truly hurt.
Well, it would just make it a lot more better if he was just like dominating, winning all his feuds, his matches, especially as a demon, and then win the world title.
He's been losing too much, bro. He has been losing too much.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What's realistically going to happen is that I don't know what's going. What's realistically going to happen is they going to have what's the name of the U.S. champion? Not U.S. Intercontinental champion right now. I'm blanking on his name. Huh? Gunther, bro. They gonna have Gunther. They gonna have Gunther drop the IC title. Gunther gonna win the a Royal Rumble and face Seth at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I actually think Gunther's gonna drop it. I think Drew's gonna beat him. I think Drew's gonna beat him.
He'll be able to beat the record in time before the Rumble, so he can drop that belt. in like November, December, and then
I think they're leading up to Drew beat him. I think Drew's gonna beat him because Drew needs it.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
do you do that though? A SummerSlam or a rematch?
That's
I think
SummerSlam, yeah.
I think SummerSlam Drew's gonna beat him, and then Drew's gonna have an amazing reign. I feel like Drew's a guy. He needs it. He needs a title because he was great with the WWE title the first time around. I think you give him the IC strap, have him be a fighting champion. I think it'll do wonders for Drew. And then Drew just been like kind of going through it. He's coming back. He just came back, got a lot of momentum. I think he's gonna be the guy to be Gunther. I think he'll beat him at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think if you have it's like you take a little momentum from it. And it's like Gunther, it would be cool to break the record, but like Gunther doesn't need to break the record. Everybody calls him the best IC champion ever already. So like who cares about the record?
That's fair. You know, since we're on the topic of changing championships, we need a new U.S. champion. I'm sorry.
LA Knight.
The Austin Theory project, it ain't hitting right now. He thought like after WrestleMania to kind of like, you know, beat John Cena, but even in that match, you can tell Cena wasn't like all the way there. Maybe he was just playing it safe because he's in Hollywood now, but I don't know. That match was uninspiring, and this championship reign is uninspiring. Chris, I know you wanted to say something.
I think
But
I don't care for Austin Theory at all. I think he would honestly be better as a babyface. I thought he'd probably be more believable as a babyface. And as a heel, it's just like he says the same thing every week. John Cena called it. He said, "You're gonna beat me, and then nobody's gonna care, and nobody cares that he beat him." I think since they didn't give him the briefcase, have LA Knight beat him at SummerSlam and give LA Knight the title. Simple as that.
So LA Knight turns face, or is it like a?
Yeah, they should. He should have been turned face.
No, I don't like that idea. No. Here's my thing with Austin Theory, and because if y'all remember his segment with Kevin Owens a little while back when he was still Mr. Money in the Bank, Kevin Owens was telling him like you were handpicked to be the future of WWE, and you see why for various reasons. But as you can tell, just like Roman in his early years within the company, he's just not ready. But for some reason, they just like to put a rocket ship to his ass and just have him shoot for the stars, and hopefully he'll get there someday. I think, like you can tell, Austin Theory isn't ready. Yes, he has the talent and the potential to get there, but he's not there. And I think what really hurt him, honestly, was that WrestleMania feud with John Cena. Because when you go up against somebody like John Cena, you need to know how to cut a promo. You need to know what to say. They tried the same thing with Roman Reigns, and it didn't work. Yes, Roman, and they went through the same segment. It's really like Roman Reigns against John Cena all over again when you think about it. Roman Reigns had terrible segments with John Cena, and we all know about the infamous one.
I'm sorry, but even with the Roman was still able to hold his own with Cena because he was over with the crowd. Like the crowd, even when they were booing him, but like they still like he got reaction.
No. I don't think he's talking. He's not talking about Roman Reigns of now. He's talking about Roman Reigns.
I'm talking about that promo with
Suffering Succotash?
No.
That's 2014.
I'm talking about when Roman Reigns forgot his line. He forgot what to say.
Exactly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no mercy, John Cena.
Did they have him back then?
I thought that was that was 2017. All that was in the same time frame.
Even 2017, Roman was still over with the crowd. He was like the most hated person. So it's like he still was like he could hold his own with John Cena.
No, he was the most hated, but no, that's not genuine hate though. It's true. It was heat because it was overload. It was like John Cena heat. It was like, yo, we've seen you too much.
It's go away heat. That's what they call it. It's go away heat.
I know it was, but even with Austin Theory, the crowd doesn't care about him at all. He was the Roman. People still cared about what he was doing. He was the most hated guy in the company.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The brother had leukemia, came back from leukemia, and they still booed him, bro. Like, no. I'm
not laughing.
That's what matters, bro. If you get a reaction, you over, bro. And nobody cares about Theory's not getting a reaction. Roman was the most hated. He just beat The Undertaker that same year.
I understand.
He was the most hated in the company. Still the top guy in the company. Austin Theory's like he was you couldn't. There was nothing you like Austin Theory. There was nothing that came.
See, the
out
only
of him.
difference is that Austin Theory isn't Samoan. Can I just say it? Like,
No,
Because the only difference between
That's
Austin
true as well.
because the only difference between Austin Theory and Roman Reigns, if we being honest, is just the fact that like they haven't strapped the pack to his back as much as they I feel like they force fed Roman Reigns so much.
yeah, but
Yes,
even
Exactly. So realistically, they could do the same thing with Austin Theory and get the same result.
not. But
They
I'm
could.
saying, what I'm saying, even with that at that time, he might not have been Roman now, but he was still way better than Austin Theory is right now. Way better. Not even close.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I
But
think he
let's,
had a lot of goodwill
The
from
other
the
two.
Shield too,
He did, and he was the most hated guy in the company. Nobody cares about Austin Theory.
because we loved him when he was in the Shield, and I guess we kind of
look,
during that whole babyface
Six-
run, we were kind of hoping that we would get like that Roman back, but like as a singles competitor. I don't know. Austin Theory, we
See, you're
haven't
not-
like we just haven't seen anything that we really liked from him. At least for Roman, you know, we had the Shield years and stuff, and he was still, you know, somewhat of a badass, even though it's just babyface thing just wasn't for him. Like we knew, like
see. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. See, you're not wrong with what you're saying, but you also have to look at the differences. So when Roman Reigns had that feud with John Cena, that was already a few years into his main event run. Austin Theory never had a main event run before he just got thrown into the fire, basically. There wasn't even a main event. As you can see, it was the opening match. But you see how early on when he jumped to the main roster that he started it, that like of course that was a match we wanted to see because that was somebody he looked up to. But not this early. And yeah, no doubt Cena's job was to put him over. But again, when you put somebody like who was not ready like that in that position against a John Cena type of person, you need to know what to do. And he didn't know what to do. That's something that should have been saved years down the line a little bit. I understand that John Cena's not in the best shape like he was anymore, but that's something he could have gotten in shape for like one night thing. A 1 month thing or something like that. Them doing it now was I feel like really hurt him.
Probably not wrestling shape, but he's in shape enough to at least give us a good 15-minute match. Maybe not a marathon like he used to, but
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's
way too safe.
Yeah, but I feel like that should have been safe down the line a little
because
bit.
he just doesn't respect Theory.
I think the match was fine. I think John Cena not going out there thinking like I'm trying to have it terrible. Like the match was fine. Obviously, like I think Cena does not. He's not wrestling enough, and the crowd don't care enough about Theory for like. I feel like a John Cena match now, the crowd has to be fully invested. And like John Cena, he's never gonna go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a bad match." Like he's gonna do his best to have the best match he could possibly have every time. It's just that like the match was like an old school WWE match. It was like the bad guy beats up the good guy. Like it was cool. It wasn't a terrible match and like that. It was whatever.
I don't know. Like at least like Roman got caught up in 2017 and 2014 to the main roster with the Shield. He had that to like build and develop under, and then after he had that, he started his single run with Austin Theory. I'm not gonna hold you. Up until the point that he got caught up to the main roster, the only thing I knew Austin Theory for was being the like goofball on NXT. That was like the understudy for he was in like that group with oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
You talking about? I got you. You talking about the way with Johnny Gargano?
Johnny Gargano, exactly. He was like just like on that, like they were doing like weird like skits with like Johnny Gargano having matches and stuff like that for the most part. So it's like when you get caught up to the main roster, all of a sudden I'm supposed to take you seriously, and Vince McMahon is personally walking you out and having all these different things with you, and then you win the Money in the briefcase, and no one thinks you're close to being ready for it. It's like, bro, come on, like. At least with Roman, it was like he had the Shield years to like lie back on. This, it feels like it's even worse.
Not even just the Shield stuff. By the time Roman and John Cena had their feud, Roman main events at WrestleMania 3 times. Like he was already established. He was the main guy. With Theory, it's like he didn't do anything, and they just gave him the John Cena match. I think with Austin Theory right now, I'm sorry to cut you off, Greg. If you want to keep going, you can go. My bad.
No, you good, bro. I got everything I need to say. Go ahead.
With Austin Theory, with me personally, if they were to call me right now and be like, "You book Austin Theory," I don't believe him as a heel. He's not a natural heel. He just says the same stuff out of the week. Oh, I'm the future of the company. I'm the best U.S. champion of all time. I don't believe it. best glimpse I've seen of Austin Theory is when Roman and them was bullying them, and remember when Jay like mugged him on the way or slit the back of his neck, and Austin Theory hit him with the briefcase. That moment right there, I'm like, Austin Theory will be a good babyface, bro. And then you can see from the like just from his interviews when he was just talking about, he seemed like a cool boy. Like he seemed like a cool guy to me. So what I would have him lose the title and then just have it be like WWE is just straight honing him all the time. Just do something just to get him back over with the crowd and make him be a babyface. I thought he's way more natural as a face than a heel. I mean, you probably contest it because we haven't seen him as a face yet, but like I just don't believe him as a heel. I think he would be a pretty good babyface. They should try it at least. Try something with him because you already put all this investment into him. It's obviously not working right now at all. So I would have LA Knight beat him, turn LA Knight face, have him beat him, and then start working to get Austin Theory over as a babyface.
I mean, if that doesn't work, then I think there's only one other option. That's probably to send him down to NXT, send him back down there, and it'll be seen as a demotion, but you can use it as an opportunity to kind of build him up as a face, kind of garner sympathy for him because like, oh, he's on the main roster, and
No, that should be a good idea.
Kind of like had like a fall from grace, and they give him the NXT championship. You hold it for a couple months, and then come back, and then maybe he's ready. Honestly, they need to just do a trade.
That'd be a good idea. I think that would be good.
Just straight up trade him for Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker needs to be on the main roster.
For sure.
He's done everything that he's needed to do in NXT.
And by the way,
another
great match.
Maybe Theory needs to be called down.
Seth versus Braun Breaker. That was an amazing match too. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
That was a good match.
Yeah, I think Braun is more than ready to be called up. More than ready.
That should like. If his 2 NXT title runs weren't the tryout, then I think that match was like that's like final step that you need to see. But yeah.
Can I be honest real fast? I like Braun Breaker so much better as a heel than as a face.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Like so much better.
For sure, yeah.
It's natural. It's more natural. He's a Steiner. Like
he's a monster.
Yeah.
Steiners are assholes naturally. Like
by
sometimes
nature.
in a good way. Like we like that about them.
I don't know. Who do you think is naturally a babyface? This is a better question. Because like I don't really find people.
A lot of guys. Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. He's a heel right now.
He does the heel very well too. But like naturally, like he's a likable guy.
He does do a good heel. Like the whole.
I think Edge right now is a natural baby face. Like you know who's a natural baby. It's easy. That's what it's easy to root for. Like it's like, oh, I like this guy. He's a cool guy.
But I don't think. But like natural baby face to me just means that you had a phase. Like all the people that were labeling natural baby faces were honestly natural heels. That then people started to realize how cool they were as heels, and then became baby faces afterwards.
People like
the natural white meat babyface thing doesn't really work anymore. Like that was like that worked in the 80s and the 90s. Like
that's what I'm saying though. Like I feel like for me, natural babyface means like you come in and it's just like you just have a level persona. Whereas like all the people that I feel like become good faces start off as heels and they do all this, excuse my language, asshole-ish stuff that like people are like, you know what, like that is kind of asshole-y, but like at the same time, like it's a good, like, you know, like The Rock started off as a heel. Stone Cold Steve Austin started off as a heel.
Oh, technically he was a white meat baby face.
And you know, exactly, and no one liked him. Exactly.
We have to turn heel, and then he turned heel, and then he became a face again.
I get you.
It's okay, Greg. I hear what you're saying, Greg.
People like Daniel Bryan as a face. Just they didn't push him. People like Daniel Bryan, bro. And
Greg, I hear what you're saying.
Again, they just turned him face again because they liked him. So they were just like, oh, he's such a likable guy. And even with natural faces, kind of just like you could tell they just have certain aspects about them. Like they're just like underdog type guys. They sell very well. They just like it's certain things. It's hard for me to explain it, but it's like you just know who's like Sami Zayn is like the perfect example of a natural baby face. It's like when you see Sami Zayn, you see a baby face. Like he's a good guy. He's the underdog.
And I feel you, but the things that made Sami Hayes underdog a good guy was because Sami Zayn spent a lot of years being a heel. So because I remember Sami Zayn, bro, Sami Zayn was a dog coming out of NXT. Like he could put on a show in terms of like a wrestling match. I remember he had the match with John Cena for the US title, like you mean like on Monday Night Raw. But like at the same time, I'm saying like the true best best baby faces at the end of the day are heels that allowed you to show a range of your personality to the point where now people like you and then they want you to become a face. Even the Sami Zayn example, he was a heel for so long. And it was only within the past a year and a half that he like started to show off all these other quirks about him. You know, he's doing all this like extra stuff to win the IC title. You know what I mean? To being with Roman Reigns.
Had the camera crew following him around.
I understand that the heel stuff got him over with the mainstream stuff, but he showed he could be a babyface all the way back in NXT. It's just I think the main thing is that WWE doesn't know how to book baby faces until the crowd just like gets all over him. Because you can see like AEW, a guy like Darby Allin, they never turned him heel. He's been over. Even Cody Rhodes, natural babyface. They didn't have to turn him heel for people who like him.
Wait, Cody Rhodes had already been a heel.
But I'm talking about this character right here. With like no.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. But he was already established. That's like saying if Will Ospreay comes over to
established with the main event babyface.
Who?
He came back.
Cody Rhodes?
He came back as pretty much a debut, bro. It's like reintroducing yourself.
Nah. He had built that character in New Japan. He built that character in AEW. Like
the casual fans aren't paying attention to that stuff, bro. So when he comes back, he's introducing himself as somebody new. Like he has a name, Cody Rhodes, but he's a completely new, different person.
Nah, but like AEW is also a main competitor, so that it's not like they've gone away. Like if you watch television, you know that.
That's what I said. The hardcore fans know, but he still had to get himself over with the casual audience, the kids. The kids love him.
Nah, I'm not jacking that. Cause like take AJ Styles for example. When AJ Styles came to WWE, AJ Styles made his bread and butter through New Japan and TNA Impact. Everybody loved AJ Styles because they knew AJ Styles for real.
But it took a little, like, he obviously, he won the title.
What? It did not take nothing for AJ Styles walked in, put his hands up, and he was screaming his name, and then he won the title 150 days after he started with the company.
To the pop he got
as a heel, too. He debuted as a heel.
He debuted as a face. He ended up turning heel. He was a face when he first came in, but even with him, he has to get himself
Chris Jericho turned on.
Like all them guys who come in, they have to get themselves over with the casual audience who only watch WWE and aren't paying attention to anything else.
All right, sidebar. I was gonna say sidebar question for real. Who do you think is probably the best heel of all time?
Best heel?
Yeah, like best heel character all time.
I don't think it's really hard.
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
I got the perfect answer.
You said Roman?
Or John Cena.
I got the perfect answer.
It's nobody else.
Bro, I'm gonna go Triple H, bro.
It's nobody else. It's nobody else except Vinnie Mac. It can't be anybody else except him.
That's fair. That's fair.
When I'm thinking the best heels, I'm thinking the guys.
We're talking in the ring because Vince was like an out
character. When I think the best heels, I'm thinking your job, whoever you're facing over as a babyface, and nobody got other guys over as a babyface more than Vince, Roman, and Cena that I've seen.
Nah, you ready? I mean, Cena was never a heel,
but he pretty much was. Though. Like I know he was never like a traditional heel, but in terms of just people booing him, and he got so many guys over as a face, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, AJ Styles, all these guys who people ended up loving him coming out of a John Cena match, and that's because that's what John Cena does. It's like he's never a natural heel, but just based off the audience reaction, he's a heel. They boo him.
I would say the best heel character of all time is easily for me 2008's Chris Jericho. 2008 Chris Jericho was some of the best heel work I have ever seen in my life, bro. The brother would show up in that suit from the bro. That rivalry with Shawn Michaels where he slapped where he hit his
Yo, he
wife,
punched his wife. He
bro.
legit
Yeah,
punched
he
her in
did
the
do
mouth.
that,
He
bro.
gave her.
Cody was great, but at the same time with Cody, I mean not Cody, I'm saying Chris. Even at the time I was a kid, I hated Chris Jericho. I hated that man.
Bro,
He came out with that suit.
I did hit Chris Jericho.
I hated him. But you
I
can't
did hit
even
Chris Jericho.
you
I
slow
every week,
promos.
every week I want him to get punched every week.
but you cannot stack what Chris Jericho did at that time with what Roman is doing. You can't do it at all. Like Roman is on a whole different level.
the reason why I'm
Well,
personally more
I
of a
can give you something
fan.
comparable to Roman right now.
Go ahead.
Someone who I probably hate. Triple H from 02 to 05, bro. The Reign of Terror. I hated that man with every fiber in my
That
being,
is-
bro.
Triple H is up
Yeah.
there for sure. I think he's
Like
up there.
in the ring, like Vince is the greatest heel in wrestling history. Period. All right, I'll agree with Chris on that. But like just in ring performers, because Vince he was like you can't really call him a wrestler even though he was in matches. But Triple H like in ring heels was bro. I hated him. Like Evolution was cool, but like Triple H was like the lame member of Evolution. Like, everybody hated him. We love Batista, we love Orton, we love Rick.
I don't know. For me, it's
Hold on.
Stranglehold in that belt, bro.
Triple H, I remember is like late 2000s Triple H, babyface Triple H. That's a Triple H I just personally remember growing up with. Like, I didn't really see it. I had to catch up on it.
Yeah, I had to really learn about Evolution.
The Booker T feud, bro. Like that's all you need to know, bro.
That was bad.
The Booker T feud was like the peak of like Reign of Terror Triple H.
Yeah, my question with Triple H is: has he put anybody over as a babyface more than John Cena and Roman Reigns has? Like
no, because he only put over Batista to a point. Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels didn't need it.
Sean too, but yeah, Sean didn't.
He only. Even Randy,
he
took the belt from Randy after a month.
But that's because Randy needed to lose the belt.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't ready for it, but I'm saying like Batista was the only guy he put over out of that reign. He could have put over a lot of guys. He could have put over RVD. He could have put over.
He put over Chris Benoit.
He could have put over Booker T. That's what he should have done.
He put over Chris Benoit.
But I didn't want to. Yeah, he did.
It's like
he did.
When I say put over,
you gotta be careful saying that name, guys.
My fault. My fault.
Go ahead. Let's team talk.
It's not even just letting them win because Sammy didn't beat Roman. Jay didn't beat Roman, but they're the most over baby faces in the company right now. That's what I mean when it's like you put them over as a baby face. Like coming out of their feud, they're over as hell.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but still, like only like
Triple H did that.
Got over.
Roman's not putting nobody over. Roman ain't put nobody over yet.
In terms of winning matches, no, except for his cousin, Stone Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
That was what a week ago.
Hold on, I thought of another
out
answer.
of 3 years. Go ahead, bro.
For me personally, I can't even say I hated this man. I somewhat hated him, but someone also was terrified of him. That's bald headed Randy. Can we just take a moment to think about that?
Bro! Randy. Yeah.
Bald headed Randy was something different.
Nah, Chris, you did something there. Chris, you did something there.
Bald headed Randy was a bro. Hold on, Greg. Before you get started,
the new theme song,
bro. When I tell you the night when he broke Batista's arm, I was almost at tears because he ended that man.
I never seen
kicked the whole McMahon family in the face.
Bro, as a kid, I never seen
bro.
As personal as Randy versus Triple H when
bro.
The man RKO's
and kissed her. Bro.
That's why.
When Triple H went to the house. When Triple H went to the house, bro, I was like, yo, you can't tell me wrestling's not real. You can't tell me wrestling's not real.
He threw him through a window. He threw him through a window.
Bro.
But even like another elite.
Yo, y'all gotta watch that clip. Y'all gotta watch that clip back, bro. Listen to the screams from his wife when Triple H like breaks down the door. It's hilarious, bro. Looking back on it, it was so corny, but at the time, bro.
Randy's for sure, and even beyond just that bald-headed stage, his pandemic run before the Fiend feud ruined it all. His feud
you talking about RKO Beth?
Oh my God,
Yo, I couldn't believe he did that.
The word I'm still mad to this day that they hold him on a championship run. Like, he gave him like a couple weeks. Like, he should have got a way longer run than that because he was the best wrestler in the world for that year.
No,
I thought he
for all
didn't
that
even want it.
no,
I thought he
seriously,
didn't even want the belt.
no, seriously, for all that,
Nah.
they could just let Drew keep it.
He wanted that belt, and then the Fiend obviously.
All right.
I don't think I don't really. He's at that point of his career where like it's not that important to him.
I think anybody wants to have. They want to be champion, bro. Nobody wants to have a weak reign. Like, a 1 week.
I mean, when Shawn Michaels came back to his second run, he could have won a lot more world titles.
Shawn, yeah.
He just wanted to be with his families and go to Bible study. Like,
the Randy is still there.
I will.
They hold him for that week.
I will tell you, I know the run wasn't as good as the build up to it, but Hall of Fame Mark Henry, nah, bro. Hall of Fame, and once he became champion, it was kind of downhill from there.
Yeah.
But Hall of Fame Mark Henry to the championship, some of the most menacing work you've ever bro, come on, bro.
Do y'all remember when bro? I was watching live when he announced his retirement and then slammed John Cena. I was like,
I was watching live too. I
was eating a waffle. I remember I was eating a waffle. Bro.
I think that's a little bit after the that whole thing. He came out of nowhere with just killing guys. Like, what? He started putting guys' names up all the thing. He slammed Kane through the table. Then it's a big show. He's messing everybody up. I got another name. And this name might shock some people, but it's only gonna make sense if you was a kid watching at the time. Because I was terrified of this guy because I seen him do some crazy shit to Rey Mysterio. I thought he killed him. The great when the great
yeah. When he started squeezing, yeah.
When I see Great Khali smush Rey Mysterio head
and the blood coming out of dripping out of bro.
Killing Rey Mysterio. Like,
bro. Rey Mysterio did such a good job of making heels look like heels, bro.
Bro, I was terrified.
I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare that night.
I was terrified of Great Khali after that, bro.
Nah.
Like, this man got thrown off a roof by Aleister Black. He got an eye taken out, bro. That was in the same year, bro. He had his brain juice squeezed out of his mouth like Great Khali. Like,
I really thought he killed him. I was like, yo, he just
like that whole run. He was world champion. He was getting his ass beat.
Nah, WWE in 2007, bro, was a different vibe. When Randy pulled, 2007 Randy was the savage. When Randy pulled John Cena's dad out the crowd and punted him in the head, nah, bro. I said, nah. If John Cena don't go to that pay-per-view and wax that brother, come on, man.
07 Randy, bro. 07 Randy, he smoked the Cena pack. He
bro.
smoked the Shawn Michaels pack.
Yup.
He read him off TV, bro.
Bro, RKO, bro, RKO.
RVD pack. Bro, remember the RKO to RVD?
Yes,
he
bro.
landed on the top of his head, bro.
When he RKO,
Randy out of pocket. Then he punted him.
But what was the name of the old lady? The old lady that he RKO? Mae Young. Yeah, that was good.
She would take bumps for everybody though.
She did.
I want to go back to some of the best hills. I got a name for y'all. And it was a brief run. But Daniel Bryan's Echo when he had the wooden championship.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
That was
the environmentalist.
Yeah, that was so good, bro. I remember me and y'all know Corey. I don't know if y'all know him or not, but I remember at that time when Kofi was obviously going up and Kofi was gonna beat him. We was like, all right, let Kofi beat him, but give Bryan the belt back right after because he's not done. Let my man cook. They didn't let him get.
Yeah, that Eco Championship was crazy.
It was a brief run, but it was an elite run.
I mean, the belt was ugly as hell in my opinion. It worked for him.
If you ask me who's the best wrestler of all time, I'm gonna say Daniel Bryan every time, man. Every single time, because he do it both. He's an elite heel, elite babyface. He'll make you hate him, make you love him, make you laugh, make you cry, all that. Daniel Bryan's the best of all time, or none.
I'll put him top.
I will say another wasted opportunity in terms of a heel, bro. In 2008, bro, the way I had hate for William Regal. Wow.
William Regal was the opportunity, bro.
Whenever I think of William Regal, I just think of him versus CM Punk in that King of the Ring match. That's always what I think about when I think of William Regal.
There's a lot of guys who should have been WWE champion. Never had.
Speaking of CM Punk, my bad, bro.
William Regal's one of those dudes. Like he just never had a good time. He was always with somebody. He was just the face, and he was in WCW. He really wasn't there yet, but in WWE, like he
You
could win
forgot.
it. He could have been a world heavyweight champion, though.
But yeah, speaking of CM Punk
But-
hill run, obviously with the WWE title, that was elite. With it when CM Punk hill run was elite. Brock Lesnar, you can't not say Brock Lesnar.
which one though?
When he was a first-time champion, everybody hated him. You can't say he wasn't
2013, 2015.
Yeah, everybody hated
We
him.
just hate him because he wasn't on TV though. I feel like the fans would have, or Johnson would have liked him more if he was on TV. Maybe that was, I don't know.
Part of it though. That's part of it. Him being a part-time, that was kind of part of not caring. That's part of the character.
When he beat John Cena in like 5 minutes, bro, in that squash match, I'll never forget that day.
Let me know y'all thoughts on this because I've always had a different opinion. Because a lot of people be like, "Oh, Brock Lesnar being Undertaker didn't do anything for him." I feel like that did the world for Brock Lesnar when he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because after he beat him, that's when he became like the man, like the megastar, and he ended up going to beat John Cena. And it became like
it's like he didn't need it, but it still worked out for him.
Yeah, it did a lot for him.
Because it's like Brock Lesnar, so it's like you can believe it.
He just became untouchable.
Yeah, and then
like Bray Wyatt could have used that a whole lot more, but I would believe that Brock Lesnar be able to beat Undertaker more than Bray Wyatt, even with all the supernatural stuff that Bray be doing.
Yeah.
Like it's Brock Lesnar, like his UFC champion Brock Lesnar. Like, yeah, he can beat that old man dad. Like
it was the fact that he had Paul Heyman reminding you every week, 21-1. He's the 1 in 21-1. Like it made you. It reminded you of the time.
It worked.
He's
like he had Paul Heyman like.
I don't know. I do like that. I do like that Brock Lesnar one because you can just see that it's a meme now. The guy's face when the Undertaker gets pinned and he can't believe it. That was everybody's reaction.
Oh my God! Yeah, I remember watching. I was shocked. I was like, "What?"
Bro, I couldn't believe it. I didn't watch that WrestleMania. I saw the highlights. I was like, I didn't just see that.
It is still to this day
crazy.
The biggest shock in probably wrestling.
I've never been that shocked in a match before in my life.
Never before, never again have I been. Like I think the closest I got was probably this like Roman beating Cody. It was like you just felt so sure that Cody would win.
I wasn't that shocked. Like
that's like the closest we've gotten.
Honestly, the last time I remember being hella shocked is this is the last interview when Damian Priest won. I was shocked. I was like, they did not just do that. That was like my jaw was to the floor. Like they really did give it to LA Knight. Like I was shocked as hell when Damian Priest pulled that briefcase down.
I don't know. I really didn't have hope in LA Knight winning.
I did. I thought he was gonna win for sure.
I mean, if you wanted the best reaction from that crowd that night, that was gonna do it. Other than Roman getting pinned.
I feel like we've seen this so many times where WWE just kind of like ignores what the crowd is saying, and I thought LA Knight he's obviously the guy to win it. But I don't think Priest was a bad choice. I just don't think he was the right choice. Like Priest was fine, but he just wasn't the right choice.
Or he just wasn't the best choice. Like he's a good choice, but
he wasn't the right choice for that match. That should have been LA Knight, bro.
I think I personally think they just want Damian Priest to win the title. I mean, Damian Priest to win the title because they want Bad Bunny to face Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Bro, if that's the reason why they didn't give LA Knight the Money in the Bank, bro, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie. If that's the reason,
you can't be building up.
Bro, it's
you know damn well he's not.
No, exactly. But that's all they wanted for it, bro. Go back to Puerto Rico. Come on, bro.
That's why you didn't put
honestly,
LA Knight.
Bad Bunny should just stay away until WrestleMania and have him face Logan Paul. Right? Well, I mean, he can join the Royal Rumble match too. But I want to see that match at WrestleMania next year.
WWE is retarded, but they should have had so simple.
I think both of those guys are good enough, especially Logan. Like they're good to like be on their own in a way, I guess, against each other and not have like another wrestler like kind of holding their hands with a match.
I don't know. They
can get away with it.
That's I don't know. To have
Bad Bunny might need a little bit more training. But.
Yeah, to have him not with the professional, I would stay away from it. I mean, in Puerto Rico, you put Logan versus Bad Bunny. That's the Puerto Rico's hero versus the biggest villain in the world. Like that, I guess you could do something with it. It's
Speaking of
crazy how
Puerto Rico, they should get SummerSlam next year. Honestly, get like Royal Rumble, like one of the big four pay-per-views. Like,
that's one of the best things WWE's ever done was have pay-per-views
like
in other countries.
imagine the Royal Rumble and they just counting down in Spanish from 10 to 0. Like,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
that would go crazy.
That was some of the best things. That was I don't know who decided to start doing that, but the fact that they're having all these pay-per-views in different places and how hot those crowds
Keep
have been,
WrestleMania in the U.S.
yeah, just adds.
and
I
like
don't
every
know.
other pay-per-view.
Gotta give London that WrestleMania.
Well, we got to give London one.
Yeah, gotta give them that WrestleMania.
I feel
After
like the only
Philly.
thing that's stopping them is just time difference. So I feel like they would have been there. Time difference.
It'll hurt to have.
Because like, you can get away with Money in the Bank at 3 p.m., but WrestleMania at 3 p.m.
No, honestly, I like WrestleMania at 3 p.m. because you know WrestleMania be super long, bro. It started
That's
like
like
and
2 nights now, so
it's
you don't gotta worry about that no more.
nah, but 7 to 11 is still a long time.
That's true. On a Sunday, yeah.
So it's like they start at 3 and they end at 8. What? Yeah, I could be for it.
I'll watch it on work on weekends. I'll be cool. I'm just saying.
How did you say that, man?
I think 8 p.m. is the perfect time slot. And it's like WrestleMania. Do you want to change that time slot for WrestleMania? It's tough.
All right, but I mean, we have been going on an hour. Do you guys? I feel like we should still talk about these championship designs, but we should save our top 5 list for next episode. Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. I don't even know if y'all have a top 5 like ready in your head.
I don't. I just know the titles I like the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah. All right, but I mean, we can save the top 5 list for another time. But real quick before we finish, just just glance over this for a second. So we never really got a chance to talk about it proper. And me and Chris in past episodes have talked about the women needing new championship belts. They finally got them, and they look okay. Like I'll say, the world championships look nice. They're not the big goal, but for the men and the women, it's identical championship designs. The women have white strap. That's the only difference. It's just the white strap. So for the world title, Seth Rollins and Rhea Ripley, I like the design, even though I hate the copycat, but I like the design. Now, the Universal titles, the undisputed Universal titles from the men and the women, first of all, undisputed doesn't make any sense because we have world champions too. So how are they undisputed champions if there's another champion? That's one thing. 2, it's just another logo belt, but now like the background is gold. And then for the women, it's a white strap, the men is a black strap. I hate it. Do they look better than the blue Universal title and the red and blue women's titles? Yes, it looks better, but that's not saying much. So I just want to get y'all quick thoughts on it. World titles, cool. Universal titles, nah, not feeling it.
I don't really care for him, bro. I think the world title looks like a toy. It's cool, but it looks like a toy to me. It doesn't look like a championship. And about the WWE, they just lazy, bro. All the titles look like both the women's and women's title look the same. It's just like it's cool, but it's I don't care.
I get it, branding. I get it. Like you can still do your branding. Like the world title, like it has the logo in the middle, but it looks good.
The world title is
cool. Championship.
It's like a perfect example of having your branding and still making a beautiful belt is the AEW title, which is I think is the best title right now. As the
New Japan, like they all do it. They have the logo, but it doesn't put the whole song.
And my main thing with WWE, bro, is that their championships look like toys, bro. It's like they look like the world title. That's my main. The world title is a cool design. I don't think it's a bad design at all. To me, it's just the fact that it looks like a toy, and especially when you see like the actual toy designs of it, it looks even worse. Like you just see like when it's on display. I don't know if you've seen them pictures where like there's no light shining on it. It just looks so dumb. I hate it. Yeah, it looks cool on TV, but to me, it looks like
the Target toys, bro.
To me, it just looks like a toy. I think all them titles like a toy. The best title is the IC title in WWE, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll go next. So for me, I kind of agree with Sam. I think when it comes to the Universal title, I like the Roman's belt better than Asuka's belt. I feel like that one looks more like a toe to me, honestly. And when it comes to the world heavyweight and the women's heavyweight title, I think I honestly like the white stripe better with it than the black stripe. I do think
I
that
agree.
I do wish they probably did a better job on designs. Again, I don't think they're terrible either, but like they definitely could have been better. And Seam, I do agree with you. That AEW World Title is a fucking
That's
masterpiece. That
it's the best in
it's
the
a
business right now.
masterpiece. Even with MJ putting his little Burberry spin on it, it still looks incredible.
So it's amazing.
To me, the IWGP belt was the best. And
No,
what AEW took, but yeah,
change it.
they didn't have to change the IWGP belt at all.
At all. I don't know why they changed it.
But yeah, AEW got the crown now. They got the crown.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Overall, like we look at the past, I used to really love the old TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt. RIP to the classic.
Talk, Greg.
RIP to that belt.
I mean, there was a couple of them though.
Greg.
There was a couple of them.
No, like I'm talking about
like the John Kurt Angle held,
like Kurt, like first championship reign, Kurt Angle, like Samoa Joe rivalry type.
Yeah,
that belt
I ain't
was
talking
beautiful.
about the Bully Ray TNA belt.
No.
Okay.
I like that one though. That was cool though. Too.
Oh yeah, the Bully Ray belt wasn't bad.
I'll say this: both of them are better than the Impact belt.
Right now? Oh yeah, come on.
Leaps and bounds.
No, come on. Right, we knew this though.
But that Kurt Angle belt, bro, 06, 07, yes, bro. Very underrated.
You know, it was a great title belt. It was.
Shoot, even the NWA joint that they had in the beginning, like, that's still a classic. Like,
yeah, it's true. But also, I forgot to say this thing. You was right though. Right now, the IC title belt is still the best in the business, and as far as WWE goes, also.
It's a beautiful design for sure. I love that belt.
You know, honestly, I don't mind the US belt. I actually like that one a lot.
I think it's cool. It kind of that even that.
Only thing is, I feel like the middle plate is like too big. Like it looks like a world title almost. It just got the US flag on it.
I think it's a good design. It even that one kind of like a toy too. That'd be my main complaint with
they can tweak that joint a little bit, but it's good. Like the lettering is kind of a little big too, but
it's cool.
I like the eagle with the flag in the background. I like that.
I think they're better. It's like none of the title designs are ugly. The tag titles are still disgusting. But like besides
the US belt, I don't think had a bad design.
We're gonna change the tag titles.
We gotta change them. I want to keep.
That's
and it's just because I grew up with it when like DX and Jericho had them. I like how the tag titles, how they both have two titles. I just like the thought of it, like the tag titles, they both have two and it's undisputed. Like I hope they keep it like that. That's what I would do. I just like the thought of it. But this is my opinion. Because y'all know,
they can do that, and then they can give us back those ruthless aggression era designs, bro. Like give us those designs back. There was no reason to get rid of them and give us pennies. We've had the penny designs longer than we had those ruthless aggression era designs.
Oh, we've had that since like 2012.
It's been 13 years.
Yeah, it is. It's been wild.
2010, bro. The Hart Dynasty.
That's
the
crazy.
Hart Dynasty. They were the first ones to hold the penny belt. We've had them since 2010. They just changed the color.
Wow.
It's the same design. Like, come on, like. I ain't asking for the classic tag team titles. That's just, I feel like that's a little outdated now, even though those are still beautiful. But give us like the
Listen, man, I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest with you. I'd rather see him just throw a fat ass W on both those tag team titles and see what I'm seeing now. I'll be completely honest with you.
I mean, they're going to put a big ass W on this belt, so.
If they gonna do that, to just keep the pennies around.
I'll take a big ass W over these pennies. I'm not gonna lie. I'll take the big ass W.
No, bro, I'm tired of the W's. I'm tired of the logo belt.
I'm tired of looking at these.
At least I'll say this. The Rock, when he first introduced the logo belt, like the scratch logo looked a lot better than the current joint. It's like the W's are all smooth and it feels corporate. Like it's just corporate. Like There's no character.
They changed the Rock. They changed the logo, and they just like changed the logo.
Like, at least with the Rock's drawing, like his version, like it was like a scratch logo and it had like the big champion underneath it. Like
I'm not gonna lie. I like the WWE title design that they just had. I thought it was a good design. It's cool. It's a good design. It's just the fact that they copied and pasted it to every other title. That just like took it away from me. It's like, all right. It's a cool design, though.
If you want to just make the because it makes sense. WWE title, all right. WWE logo. They copy and pasted it to everything.
You have it like that. Everybody this is the WWE title. Everybody knows it's the WWE title. But they go to like Jimmy Kimmel Live. They look at the belt like, okay, that's WWE. Like everybody knows. I get the idea of it. It's just I just don't like the lack of variety. Just like they just like copied and pasted all the belts. But at least it's not like. One thing I will commend them is that I'm happy that it's not just Raw Women's title, SmackDown Women's title, Raw SmackDown.
They changed the name at least.
Yeah, like, that's cool to me at least.
Greg, how do you feel? I don't think I heard. Why? Did you give your opinion on this?
In terms of a belt, I mean, I just mentioned that I really like the old TNA belt, but in terms of, because you're talking about belts, right?
Like your current WWE designs, like you have a favorite design.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. They've kind of said everything that I would say already. I do like Roman's current WWE undisputed belt more than I think most people do. It just feels like it's like the gold version of just like the original Raw and SmackDown championship. If I had to, I'll throw in for right now. I will throw in the NXT championship. I think that it has grown a lot for me, and I think it's just a solid belt. I don't think it's not too much. I think it's like a good belt considering the brand that it's supposed to represent. I feel like it's a good belt. I mean, I've never
those
not
belts are
hated
pretty.
it.
They just need to get rid of the colors on the sides, because it's not 2.0 anymore.
Yeah, they definitely need to
You can get rid of the colors and just make it, gold again.
I've always liked the design, the NXT design. I never realized that they changed it to be like a rainbow until I seen Carmelo Hayes when he was talking to stuff. I'm like, what's going on? Why does it look like that? But even
the only bet
the best
Nickelodeon.
If we count NXT, the NXT North American Championship is beautiful. I love that belt. And obviously,
yes, it is.
The UK Championship.
Rest in peace to the UK Championship. That's in my top 5, bro. The UK is in my top 5, bro.
That title was
rest in peace to that joint.
Beautiful.
That was the best belt in WWE until they got rid of it. That was the best looking championship they had.
It was
beautiful.
The same company that gave us the W gave us that. Like what?
Lord.
That joint just screams royalty. Like this belt is like you're royalty if you hold this championship.
It was like a championship.
Gunther was the perfect guy for that belt, bro. Like this belt is more like the king of Europe. Like that's what he looked like. He looked like a dictator or something. I don't know. Like he looked like a man in power, championship. It's just prestigious, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just miss when championships look like championships and not toys that you just carry around. That's what I miss.
Now, the IC belt currently it's not. I don't mind it. I feel like they could throw some blue in there though, on the world part, give it a little color, throw some blue in it.
I don't mind it. I understand the blue is usually with it, but I don't really care that it's black and gold. I like it.
It's just a nitpick. That's a nitpick.
Yeah, I can understand. Just traditionally had blue. I can get it right.
Yeah. But y'all got any final thoughts on just championships and the bloodline, on early SummerSlam predictions? I know SummerSlam we got to do an episode.
Yo, Chris, you might as well go ahead and get your J take off, bro. You was talking about on the group chat how you wanted to win and all that.
Yo, I'm starting the hype train now. Main event: Jey Uso winning the undisputed Universal title.
You think he does it?
Oh, I said he does.
Or you just want him to?
Well, I want him to, and he will.
Let me ask you
I'll speak it into existence.
Greg, let me ask you something.
I'll try to brace the double, bro. I don't know.
He's not gonna win, but Chris said something wild. I mean, it's personal opinion, but Did y'all want to see anything to win the title?
Sami Zayn.
I think realistically, it wouldn't have made sense for him to win because, like, realistically, Sami Zayn.
If you want him to win, did you want?
Yeah, I wanted him to win, but I felt like Sami Zayn just feels like a watered down Daniel Bryan. He's like feels like the underdog that I feel like personally. I feel like you watch Sami Zayn more so for the entertainment value than so like that match with Roman Reigns was the first time I realistically was like, nah, I need Sami to win this match in
I
my
was
life.
maybe it's because I've always been a Sammy fan, but ever since Sammy joined the ball, and I was like, yeah, you put him in here, turn your face, and have him win the title. I was been saying that, bro. I've always loved Sammy, but like, yeah, I wanted Sammy to win so bad.
Because I just don't know who.
Listen.
I just don't know how. Like, because every match feels like it's a match he could potentially lose. Like Sammy feels like he would like in terms of WWE. You know how WWE book stuff. So he just feels like he was gonna be a transitional champion, and he wasn't gonna like get his shine,
I'm just
regardless,
saying,
even if he won the belt.
Bro. I want to let y'all finish what y'all gotta say.
Go ahead, Chris.
no, say nothing.
Because listen, man. See, I hear what you're saying, but I'm sorry. It has to be Jay. It has to be. This whole story started with him. This whole story started with him.
Nah, bro.
Losing to
It's not
Roman
Jay,
twice.
bro.
Being forced, bro, listen to me. Being forced to fall
Bro.
in line. Being forced
Bro,
to
they're not gonna have.
fall in line.
Go ahead.
Being brainwashed for 3 years.
I don't.
Listen,
Brainwashed
Bro,
for
listen,
3
I don't
listen.
years.
disagree with
It's
you.
bro. It's his ego, bro. And realistically, bro, Roman Reigns is not losing to Jay. Jay's not breaking the Roman Empire down. Like realistically,
Why not?
Jay, bro, you're saying
I feel like
why
it makes
Jay?
more sense for him being the reason to do it, like the reason he loses more than him actually beating Roman. We already saw
I
him
have
pin him,
been
so we
I
already
have been
got that.
saying for months.
Chris,
For
We got
months.
that payoff.
Jay needs to be the reason, whether he wins or
No,
not. Jay
no,
needs to be the reason Roman loses the title.
Chris, I'll say this: if Cody Rhodes never came back to WWE, I would 100% agree with you to be the guy. But now that
exactly.
Cody's here, Cody's the guy.
That's what
Bro.
I'm saying. Like it's like,
Cody's the guy.
He's the guy.
and I feel like if
Cody.
Cody hadn't gotten hurt, he probably would have won. But it's like, let's kind of like ease him back into it, have him think that
Even with
have
me
him
and
think
Cody,
he'll win, but then
even with
build his way.
eventually, Cody's so good that eventually I wanted him to win. I remember when he first won the Royal Rumble, I was even like, I hope Roman wins just because it's like I don't want them to just rush Cody back and just give him the title. I was like, I hope they have him losing and build up to him winning again, which they eventually did. But obviously, Cody's so good at being a babyface. I wanted him to win the title eventually. Like I think they did the right thing having him lose. I think we talked about it. We already talked about it, but yeah.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah.
All right, well, early SummerSlam predictions. We're about say 3 weeks away. SummerSlam maybe 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. It's weird now because it's like in the beginning of August. Last year it was at the end of July. Traditionally, it's at the end of August every year, but now they kind of switched it up. So I'm kind of confused on when SummerSlam will be. And it's in Detroit this year. No disrespect to Detroit. I've been there. It's not really a SummerSlam type of town, but whatever. It's in a dome, so who cares really? But yeah, that's SummerSlam. This has been episode 119 of the Restricted Zone podcast. For Greg, for Sean, Chris, we had the full stable here today. We had the full, WWE group chat in here today, not just 2-man power trip. Full group in here today. It was a great episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment. Also, again, make sure to check out episode 118, NBA Free Agency with a special guest. But for tonight, I'm John Wooten. I'm your host. Good night.